Okay, so I can actually be pretty petty sometimes. I legitimately went years not liking Giselle from Disney's Enchanted, not because of anything she did wrong, but because how people, the fans of the movie, treated her. It's a very similar situation to why I don't care for Sunset Shimmer from Equestria Girls. I used to like her until fans treated her like the best thing ever and treated Starlight Glimmer like she was some second-rate clone of Sunset who should never exist, and so on and so forth. I ranted about this before in my Starlight video, but the point still stands. I know I shouldn't let what people say ruin the fun I have towards something I otherwise like, but I'm not perfect. I can't always help it. I can't help what I feel. In the case with Giselle, it wasn't people treating her like she was the best thing ever that bothered me. It was something that the fans were getting wrong. Despite what a lot of fans think, Giselle isn't a princess, and she never was. Hello everyone, my name's Aloubell, and one of my pet peeves is continued incorrectness, even if it's unintentional. Even more so if it is intentional. Like, it legitimately makes me low-key mad when someone keeps getting information wrong and stating the wrong info whenever the situation arises. So with fans of Enchanted saying for years how Giselle should be part of the official Disney princess line, or even worse, people placing Giselle on a list of princesses that they like, it irks me a bit. And I know, it's their lists, they can do whatever they want, but the people making such lists or categories don't mean this in a every girl is a princess type of way, but they're legitimately of the idea that Giselle is actually royalty. They believe this is a fact, but it's not. In the first movie, Enchanted, Giselle was just a girl living in a forest with some animal friends. At this point, we had no backstory on her, so technically no reason to believe she's a princess. And sure, Robert, her eventual husband, called her a princess at some point, but he meant that in a cutesy, fantastical, romantic sense, not literal. But more than anything, Giselle herself says that she's not a princess. Or, more specifically, when Robert's daughter asked Giselle if she was a princess, Giselle replied that she would be once she married Prince Edward. Therefore, she wasn't a princess, nor did she end up being a princess because she didn't marry the prince. The second movie, Disenchanted, showed that Giselle, as a baby, just sort of showed up in the forest one day and we have no idea where she came from. One could make the argument that she could be the long-lost princess to some kingdom, but that's heading into headcanon territory and has not at all been confirmed. What's more likely is that 1, she was purposefully abandoned by her real family, 2, she was accidentally abandoned and her family is frantically looking for her, or 3, more headcanon territory, but what if she's not even human but a nymph or something? I mean, it's possible given her connection with animals and how she can make a whole crowd of strangers start singing out of nowhere in the real world.
But Aloe, Giselle can only talk to animals and sing out of nowhere because Enchanted is a parody of fairy tales. More specifically, the Disney adapted ones. It's not meant to be much deeper than that.
I'm aware of that. I'm just trying to add some in-universe logic to things. All of that is besides the point. Until Disney says otherwise, Giselle is not a princess by any means. Some of you out there know what I'm saying is true and are not surprised in the least. In fact, a good chunk of you, if not most of you, probably know this, and I'm probably just preaching to the choir here. But entirely too many people don't know this, so here you go.
But Aloe, going back to the official Disney princess line, Mulan isn't an actual princess in her story, and yet she counts as one, so why can't Giselle? After all, it's very likely that Giselle would have been an official Disney princess if the whole Amy Adams likeness and royalties and such hadn't gotten in the way.
True, Mulan isn't a princess, but consider this. Mulan is only part of the Disney princess line because of a rule that was made very specifically for her. Mulan is an honorary princess because, along with meeting the other criteria, she gets in because she saved an entire country. Disney says it was the act of bravery, but I think the scale of bravery has to be taken into account, considering other Disney girls, both princesses and not princesses, were snubbed from being an official Disney princess despite being super brave. Kita, Meg, and I'm sure many others. Giselle, too, was super brave in fighting the dragon to save Robert, and yet the act wasn't big enough for her to count as a princess.
But Aloe, I already said that she would have been a Disney princess if the whole Amy Adams issue wasn't there.
Yeah, I heard you, but why? Why her? Specifically, why her? Why not other Disney girls?
Because money, of course.
Oh, yeah, that sounds about right. Enchanted did do super well in the box office compared to some other movies, so Disney would have been more than happy to have her if it weren't for reasons. In the past, Disney was a bit more wishy-washy when it came to what defined a Disney princess, considering Tinkerbell and Esmeralda used to be on the Disney princess line, but aren't anymore for various reasons. So perhaps if Giselle was added back then, issues with her actress and royalties and likeness and all that stuff aside, it wouldn't have been an issue, at least not with me. But the current rules won't allow her, or else the current rules wouldn't make sense. But the more I think about it, the Disney princess line doesn't make sense in general. Why am I trying to logic this out? This is film theory and Super Carlin Brothers territory. The point that I'm ultimately making is that Giselle is not a princess in any sense of the word, not literally and not honorarily. However, if you still feel like calling her a princess, I of course cannot stop you. More than anything, I'm just relieved that I could share this info with at least one person who didn't know. This video may have seemed pointless for some, but sometimes small things bother me. Small, petty things. And it's nice to talk about it with someone. So thanks for humoring me. After all of that, how do I feel about Giselle nowadays? I like her now. Despite my pet peeve still being at work, I think she's a cool character. She's whimsical, nice, has flaws, and learns from them. It's nice seeing her journey in both movies, though I agree with most that the first movie was better than the second. The That's How You Know sequence is just so good. The music in itself already amazing, but the cinematography and all of the actors and just everything that went into it is just so impressive that I even watched a behind the scenes video about that whole song sequence. Is Giselle a favorite Disney character of mine? Not even a little bit, but she's still a solid character. Until recently, I just ended up associating her with the immense annoyance I felt towards people getting her status wrong. I legitimately wanted nothing to do with her, as I'd be annoyed with her even if I wasn't hearing those people say those things at that moment. Put simply, her existence was annoying, and I wanted to avoid said feelings of annoyance. It still annoys me that some people get her status wrong, but unlike in the case of Sunset Shimmer, I won't let this get in the way of me enjoying watching Giselle throughout her story. In any case, another quick thought, another short video, always a good time. What do you guys think? Do you like Giselle? Did you know she wasn't a princess? Or did I just blow your mind? Either way, comment below and let's get this conversation started. And remember, I'm the artistic Aloubell, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it and subscribe for more reviews, rants, and rewrites. But as for now, that's all there is. There isn't any more.